merrier. The more, the merrier.
All right. So if anybody's watching this later, I have wanted to show Seth from the Dividend Report. What are you calling your Twitch stream now, by the way?
It is Divvy the Wise. DIVITHEWISE, no spaces.
I like it. Anyway, I've been wanting to show Seth what we're doing with the Uplift Out world for quite a while. Obviously, we got a little busy, and of course, the some of you might have heard about the community cluster that's happening. We're actually gifting land not only to community leaders like Seth, and this is going to be me trying to convince him to join us here because we would all benefit from having the likes of Seth here. But so somebody like Seth would get land, and then they're going to have 55 NFTs to give away 55 plots of land to the absolute best of the best of their community. And Seth doesn't even know what the hell is going on. So we're going to show him the entire thing from top to bottom, and I'm a little stoked about it.
This is basically how this went. I sent a message to Corey earlier today. I said, hey, listen, I'm kind of getting involved with my Twitch channel, which I'm trying to grow. Keep me in mind if you're doing anything gaming related in the future. He said, dude, get ready for a call immediately.
It's my life now. Yeah. So, I mean, basically, long story short, we're making, we're almost finished building a Minecraft world that will have cryptocurrency rewards just for being there, just for doing stuff in game. We'll have random NFTs drop to you, which are going to be power ups in game, but are also going to be NFT drops from partners that are in the cryptocurrency space, and we actually have a significant percentage now of the NFT projects that are building on the Wax blockchain are already in the community cluster that I want you to join. So it's going to be absolutely popping off. Have you heard of Decentraland or Upland or CryptoVoxels?
Yeah, Decentraland I tried to get into just recently. Their ticker is Mana, is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, they actually have and we were talking about, my original plan was to actually mint our own cryptocurrency to have as well, and then we finally somebody gave us $1 million Wax donation, which is again about 40 grand, and we decided to go with that instead, and I like that a lot more, even just because there's a lot of legalities around the cryptocurrency minting space that we just didn't want to get into, and so now we don't have to. So it also means that there's like an inherent value in the Wax ecosystem, and so anybody taking part in this right off the bat is going to be able to kind of take part in that from the jump. So that's going to be cool.
So really quick, since I have two communities with me right now. One of them is probably a lot less familiar with the notions of probably cryptocurrency in general, but also NFTs. Could you do your best to shortly explain exactly what an NFT is?
So an NFT stands for non-fungible token, which shouldn't mean anything to anyone. It effectively is a cross between like you can have, Bitcoin can be like, if you get any Bitcoin, it doesn't really matter, right? So an NFT is a very, very unique thing that lives on the blockchain. So you can have a single painting that lives on the blockchain as an NFT. It cannot be duplicated. It cannot be replicated. It is that one thing. And so a lot of artists have gotten into NFTs to release pieces of work that are rare. Like you can have you can release 10 of a painting, for example. Interestingly enough, the mint numbers end up becoming a lot more valuable. Like a comic book, like a #1 comic book ends up becoming more valuable. We've actually, personally, I've released music and music videos as NFTs that have been rare. What's really interesting now is we sectioned out, and you can see like all these different squares and shapes. These are all going to be NFTs, and if you hold these in your wallet, you will actually own this in the world, right? So you'll be able to decide who can build there, what can be built there, that kind of thing.
So I happen to see something that looks like Minecraft. Is that just the screen, your desktop?
So no, this is the 2D map of our world, and it's live. Right. So this is actually like where I am in the world, and you can see the top, it shows the coordinates and stuff. So this is actually our world right now that anybody can see. You can actually see the URL is just an IP address. If you go there, you can actually just see the map of what's getting built, what's happening right now. So Seth the Boyd is over here wandering around the volcano. By the way, I finally got a volcano, which is going to be so much fun. You're going to be able to burn NFTs together to create other NFTs inside this volcano, which is going to be super fun.
I'm sorry, burn NFTs?
Yeah, so NFTs can be set to be destroyable. right? So you can actually like eradicate them. And one of the game mechanics that people are creating now is if you get a bunch of common NFTs, because people are releasing things at different rarity levels.
Right.
So if you get like a bunch of a certain kind of NFT, you can burn them and get something of a higher rarity level, something that is more rare, right? And so one of the things we're going to be doing in the game is, if you hold, like you're going to be able to find what's called a Wanderer class NFT. And if you hold that in your wallet, just wandering around is going to earn you more wax, right? You'll earn like 10% more or something like that. And they're going to be easy to find too. So if you find like 4 or 5 of these Wanderer class NFTs, you'll be able to go to the volcano, burn them, basically throw them in the volcano, and a better one is going to pop out. So you'll be able to have one that is more rare and more valuable. And of course, you can go to someplace like atomichub.io and actually sell these if you want to.
So no, this is really interesting, but I do think that it would provide even more value for us to really kind of harp back on exactly why NFTs might be important, right? I heard someone explain the case that, Ethereum or other kind of blockchains that are working with NFT, what they've succeeded in is creating abundant scarcity, which is a kind of an oxymoron in one sense of the word. But when you really get down and think about it, this is important for some reasons. And given what we've been all seeing on the news and what we can't get away from right now, what's been happening with Wall Street bets and now with Robinhood, and we're starting to see all of these problems from centralized authorities coming down and really kind of breaking the illusion that we have control and ownership over our own goods. I really want to like dig in and kind of explain to any viewers who may not understand why we're so excited about a digital lava pit that's burning
right.
artificial scarcity. I truly do believe that this is going to change the world, but it's not so easy to understand at first. So do you have any more like kind of things to expand upon when it comes to digital scarcity?
So I guess there's so many different ways that we can take this, right? Like from my perspective as a musician, as an artist, right? I have released albums before, and of course anyone can copy an MP3 or what have you. But people that are huge fans always wanted something that was that was scarce, right? Like you used to be able to get like an LP or whatever. Even those didn't have numbers on them though, right? Like so you can now get an MP3 music video of mine. And it that it's one of 1,000 that will ever exist, and that's it. So that scarcity levels is very, very interesting, and so people are interested for that reason. Interestingly enough, the first one that was minted, because they get minted in series on the blockchain, and that all gets tracked, right? So mint number one is mint number one. It was the first one to ever exist. Even though the next one was created like 0.2 seconds later, those mint ones go for 10 times more than any of the other mints. Like it's we're watching this in the market all over the place. It's hilarious. We as hyper intelligent monkeys are super funny this way. But like I've even wanted, like I value the mint ones of the things that I've minted myself, right? Like, because I just made them. So it's an interesting dynamic that we're starting to see.
Right.
And so that scarcity level is interesting just for art. But this, we're looking at the 2-dimensional thing. I'm going to take you in the game in a minute. So this is actually a cathedral that I built with a little bit of help from my friends.
Is this an isometric view now?
Yeah. So you can do the 3D thing, which is kind of fun.
Right.
Big, huge dome. These things are actually all gratitude monuments, and we get together every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we actually affix gratitudes on these monuments, and we do like one a week usually. There's actually, we've had to start doing more. These things are all filled with signs of gratitude. I'll show you that in the game pretty soon. But this land area is an NFT as well, right? And so I'm going to have this land area NFT on sale for 10 million because I don't want to sell it.
You're going to sell your gratitude. Oh yeah. Well, if you sell it, you're going to be extremely rich. That's how much it means.
It's the thing. It's got a number. Now, granted, these little railway plots over here, they're going to go for $100. We're actually going to auction them. So I think we're going to get more than $100 per thing. But you're going to be able to buy one of these things. And if you want to buy it, again, in game, these things are actually pretty big. You'll be able to put shops on there. You'll be able to actually have like a browser window that would show your Twitch stream if you wanted to, right? And every time somebody takes, this is all railway, right? On the sides. Anyone takes a railway to and from anywhere in the game, you're going to make a little bit of wax. So it's going to be a revenue generating piece of property from the second that you get it. And so, that the only way we could do that is if we could link it to an NFT to prove the scarcity, to prove that Seth owns it, and to be able to do basic cryptocurrency functions based on that ownership, right? So that allowed us to start building this out in a way that would actually work.
Okay, sweet. Also, just letting my chat know that I'm not the Seth that is in the game. That's a different.
Oh
Seth,
yeah,
right?
that's a different guy. So this is. Have you ever? Did I tell you about Boyd?
No.
Boyd's interesting. You can go to I think it's Boyd.app. He's the creator of that. It's basically a decentralized, the SETI program where you could like sign up with your spare computer and it would like crunch observational data from the telescope down there.
I did not know that, but it's kind of like a fold at home, right? With the protein.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep, exactly the same kind of thing. So he created that where the spare CPU on your computer is actually currently, I think they're crunching cancer data or COVID marker data, and it mints Boyd tokens. So you actually mine the Boyd token by using your CPU to do really cool shit.
This is crazy. This is really interesting. And someone in my chat, M, has just mentioned how much she loves the idea of the monument gratitudes, the gratitude monuments. I'm letting her know that we will do everything we can to be present the next time. Now, the last
hold on. Like, and this is going on tomorrow. But before, like, I'm showing you the 2D thing because I want to scale into this slowly. Please let them know. I want them to write down one very short gratitude. I'm actually going to affix that to the gratitude monument for them before we're done.
Okay, great.
Right? And it'll live there forever. And like, I'd love to get one from you as well. So yeah, so basically, like, I trying to. There's so much to talk about in the game. Long story short, though, like all of these different plots are going to be NFTs that are going to be for sale, right? People are going to be able to buy them, and again, they're going to be revenue generating property. Anyone who shows up there, if people visit your property, you're going to earn the wax cryptocurrency from that. But down here, This is where I want you to show up, and I want you to bring your whole community. This is what we're calling the community cluster. And again, you can see the railway line that we're still building out that is going to connect that to Central City. So let me pull the picture up. This morning, there was 5 projects that had that were taking part in this, and now there's a few more. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh. Apparently it's not there anymore. That's super sad. Hold on. Dagnabbit. I thought I had everything organized. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Can you see this okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so M Blue is my producer and an artist and a podcaster. Hashtag Coffee you've heard of. That's our show. Ken Bozak is a crypto influencer with about 20,000 people on Twitter. Crown is a cryptocurrency community that is based around creating DACs, decentralized autonomous corporations.
Right.
And Lads is a massive community. Uplift Art is the place where I actually minted my music video NFT. So anyway, like every single one of these plots are taken now. There was 5 this morning. Crypto Monkeys is a huge NFT project that lives on Atomic Hub. Our Planet is a same. They're kind of a really cool game. We're talking to a bunch of different people. So long story short, each one of these represents a community with well over 1,000 people in it, and I've granted them each these little chunks of land. They're actually not little; they're actually pretty big. And all of these little ones, they're going to be giving away to their community. So that's what I want to talk to you about, because I really want you down here with all of these people, especially because like you're starting a Twitch thing, like. There's 2 shows that are already going on in the Uplift right now. That's what we're calling it, by the way, the Uplift.world. There's 2 shows just showing people what other people are building. We started the show called Clusterfuck because already people are like freaking out to get into the game and start building things out. And so what's going to happen is the communities that earn the most wax, and basically that means like, say, Seth, you have one of these clusters. I'm just telling you, like, we're giving you this. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with it. I think you're going to do amazing things with it. So you have like a Twitch show where you're awarding the best people in your community little parcels of land around here, right? Like, how do we make this more valuable? How do we get more people to show up? Because if you have more people show up to your land, you're all going to earn more wax. And one thing I forgot to say is what maybe didn't describe properly. The player, as you wander around, you're going to earn a little bit of wax just for wandering around, just for exploring. and the landowner where you happen to be standing, they're going to earn a little bit of wax as well. So you're basically, mining the attention of people in the game just by owning that piece, right? So go ahead.
Allow me to explain this to my chat in ways that I've been percolating in my mind for a little bit. But before I do, I will say that my chat is just magnetized to your enthusiasm about this. And even I, as I've been sitting here, for some reason, I keep on thinking about that scene in The Disaster Artist where Tommy talks about having his own planet and he gives what's his name, that pin with Tommy's World on it. I feel like that's you. You're going around giving people like tons of pins. He's like, everyone's gonna love each other here. This is the best planet.
And honestly, for real, this is where it's messed up, because Blue and I talked about this, and Greg and I too. Greg from So Local.
Yes, yeah.
The whole thing centers around gratitude. Gratitude literally lives in a cathedral on monuments at the dead center of this world, where everyone spawns. So that's not made up. That's how it's happening. That we're building that intentionally into the space.
So I've kind of mentioned to chat that there are things that I wanted to make for them. My first, the core community that's the first to subscribe. You're one of them. Thank you. Awesome stuff. I want to make an NFT, which is not like normally you would make an NFT you put up on a marketplace, but you can also just give it to people freely. It's going to be a scarce virtual item that says, hey, you are someone who was in my community from the beginning. Only one of these will ever exist, and you are the person who owns it, and you can wear this on your virtual shirt as that thing. That is the kind of reward, because a lot of people don't understand this, but there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are trying this Twitch thing, and they look just like me, and they want a video game for life and everything. But the channels that really succeed are the channels that build communities. And a lot of people are kind of freely giving up their labor in a sense, because you're able to really riff off of what other people are saying in Twitch chat. The community is really doing a lot of the work, and I bet a lot of people wouldn't tell you that. But if it wasn't for you, none of this would actually happen. So in this way, you can start to see a true market economy that rewards all players within the system, and everyone gets a benefit from being involved in the project. And that's what makes this so interesting to me, and something that I really want to keep tabs on as we move forward into the 2020s, because this is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. This is tied into cryptocurrency. A lot of people don't understand cryptocurrency. They think it's this thing just about finance, and to some degree it is, but it has to do with everything,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that space is only going to increase. What's also interesting is, say, the first, you do the first 1,000 badges or whatever, right? But the first one is mint number 1, right? So whoever was your first Twitch streamer, they're going to be super excited. And the lower the mint, the better it is. So the sooner you show up in Seth land on Twitch, the better it's going to be. What's really interesting, and I can introduce you to people that have these tools. Whoever holds that badge, that the whatever you want to call it, that NFT from your early Twitch days, you're actually going to be able to airdrop future NFTs to them, as a group, as a community of people, right? So if somebody comes in and says, hey, this NFT project wants an interview with you in your in the uplift on your land, or playing a different game or whatever, right? You could tell them, listen, I need $100 worth of NFTs, and I'm going to airdrop that to my community, my OG community, right? So you can start accruing benefits to people that have been around for a long time with those NFTs.
Yeah, just to cement this even further, in case we haven't done a good job yet, I mean, look at Fortnite and how Ninja has his own skin in Fortnite, and people will buy that skin just based off the clout that Ninja has. Imagine that you had, if you were one of the first people to watch Ninja, and then he grows and becomes the biggest Twitch streamer on the planet, and you have something that says, I supported Ninja from the start. That is going to be incredibly wealthy. People will buy it. It will give you status in the virtual world, which is increasingly becoming more and more and more important. Now, This is awesome. Is this the monument? The monument dome?
This is what we were looking at. We call it the satellite view on the map, but this is what we were looking at on the 2D map or 3D map or whatever.
So when you were first kind of doing these monument sessions, I mean, these gratitude sessions, I remember it was a couple months ago, and it was based in Minecraft, and I can see some similar assets and everything. Is this Minecraft modded, or?
No, we built all of this. I actually built this dome by hand, which I don't recommend. It's ridiculous. You can actually for that. But yeah, the first place that you came, that was Cathedral 1.0, right? And that's still in this world. That is actually just about 2 kilometers in that direction. And you can still go visit it. All those things still exist. All the gratitudes are still there. Like the whole thing got so full, we had to come and kind of build a different one. We need a new one. So you can see these are all the the gratitudes we first put in, and every time we need a new one, we actually build them sequentially now, and they're all time stamped on the back. Right? There's one. This is back in December. This is actually just 2 months worth of time being in here. But what I'd love to do, whoever commented before, I'd love to get one gratitude up from both of you. We'll just go down to the end over here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she already put it in the chat. Is that what you want up to be put into this forever? I like it. I like what she put.
All right. What did she put?
I am grateful for Twitch and its many communities, especially divvies.
All right.
It might run into a limit. And
maybe especially divvies. There you go. or for Twitch communities, I could probably put that on there. Like divvies. How just DVI?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And what's their name?
What do you want to tag this as? There's a little bit of a delay on the Twitch channel, capital E, lowercase m, capital R, OBS. That's it. Yeah.
Boom.
So, okay, like, here's my question. So this still exists in the same, like, you brought the map back and it showed all the different communities, crypto monkeys and everything. They're in this instance too. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, everybody's on the same planet, effectively.
So, like, this is what I'm confused about. Cause like, I'm guessing the ownership rights that you have over one of those quadrants means that, like, you can't go into someone else's quadrant and start wrecking stuff, right?
That's correct. Yeah. You're the only place you're going to be able to build anything is on your own land.
So were you able to make those parameters within Minecraft itself, or did you have to mod it? Oh,
well, there's plugins that have been modded that basically allow us to set that up, and they get set up with an API. So and that API and the console can basically allow us to map the NFT ownership to who has those rights in those regions.
Right. So this is like just a visual representation of the scarcity that's reflected with the platform that you're talking about.
Right. So the NFTs are basically like whoever owns those NFTs gets those particular rights in those particular areas.
Gotcha.
By the way, Seth, what are you grateful for this morning or this afternoon? What day is it?
Oh man, dude, I have no idea. I think it's a Saturday, isn't it?
I think so.
Man, dude, I'm grateful for being a part of a better future. Yeah. I mean, I could say something about in virtual worlds, but everything's virtual to some degree. And
we just don't have very much room.
Yeah, man. You just put it down as that's great.
What? No. What's your Twitch?
Divvy the Wise, capital T to capital W.
I like it a lot.
Beautiful. M is a huge fan of Minecraft too, so I can tell that she's gleeful at learning about this entire new world. We were talking about just starting to do some Minecraft actually just yesterday, so this is actually just perfect.
Nice. So yeah, this is the railway that heads out there. And just while we're talking, I'm just gonna stay on here. The railway out to the community plot is really, really long.
Oh my gosh, is that the black whatchamacallit from Snow Crash? It kind of looks like it.
So this is just a random build that I made. I just wanted to build a pyramid, basically. It's an octahedron, but I built it all the way down to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, dude. So you've read Snow Crash, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's immediately the vibes that I was getting off of that.
So, and if you look where we were initially, if you go back and look on the video, we're building basically an updated version of the Louvre, right? So we've got a bunch of NFTs. We're actually going to map those NFT images in world, and I think we can do browser windows in world, dude, so people can watch your show from inside Minecraft, which is going to be nuts. But we're basically creating an NFT museum and kind of an art gallery, and so I basically took this shape and made it all out of glass, and then dumped it down to the bottom of the ocean. And then we're basically carving it out so that it looks like, just the top part is all you can see coming in from the ocean. There's actually going to be 4 smaller ones around it. So you're going to come in and it's going to look like, the Stargate Atlantis basically is what it's going to look like. But underneath, there's going to be a massive complex where you're going to have an entire art gallery of NFTs.
Holy crap, dude. I love it, man. Dude, you are hustling. You're putting in the work. I don't know how you have time to make such beautiful pieces of monuments in this. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been, well, I mean, like, I built this entire railway and I had to use creative mode to do it. Because it's literally, this one line is 10 kilometers long. The line out to the community cluster is going to be close to 15. And without creative mode, it would take a team of people probably 6 months to do it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Are there any restrictions on, like, is this creative mode?
Yeah, it's not going to be creative mode. It's going to be survival when we start. Although there's not going to be any mobs. Basically, to build anything, you're going to have to mine it, because there's also a way for us to create an economy in game, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of people that really love just kind of mining and collecting stuff, and so they're going to be able to dump that stuff on the market and sell it to people like me, frankly, that want to build stuff. And of course, all that's, people are going to get currency in game, and they're also going to be able to use the wax that they earn in game just to make it as just really viable as possible. We don't want to slow anyone down, but we just want to make sure that everybody who's mining is going to basically, everybody who's playing the game in any way they want to play it is going to be incentivized to do so. So, all
right. So here's the hardball question, right? Because we're talking about in the news Robinhood having this extremely unfair, corrupt relationship with the hedge funds and the brokers that are kind of rigging the game for the American people. Like, they are kind of the administrators of a Minecraft server in one way or another. So talk governance. How does governance work within this world that you're building? Who owns this?
So, I mean, I've been thinking about this nonstop. And the Robinhood thing, just for all of your viewers, is not as nefarious as people are saying it is.
Those were margin calls, right?
Yeah. I mean, their order book, the whole system of how the order books work is dumb. Mm-hmm. let's just put that out there right off the bat. Like, the way that it functions is wrong, and blockchain is going to solve that. But I don't believe for a second that it was nefarious. They're about to launch an IPO. Like, there's no way they would do this on purpose. They're just they didn't have the things that they said they had that they were buying and selling, and that's why they got shut down.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, they didn't have a choice but to stop. However, they still have, like, when people finally understand where they make their money, they make money by making trades really, really cheap for the average people, and then selling that aggregate data to hedge funds that basically take your money on the opposite end of the trade. So they're still terrible, but that's how brokers have always worked.
And that's being overlooked for all of the other easier to kind of grasp stuff. We need to really be talking about how this data is being used in the shadows to further topple the game.
100%. So the governance model is something that we're spending a lot of time thinking about, and this railway right now is actually headed out to the first prototype city. We're just calling it Western City because we apparently don't have any imagination. That name might change. I hope it does. And so what I'm going to be doing is setting up a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO. And a percentage of all the land sales and a percentage of all the economic activity is going to go in an account that is owned by that DAO, which is actually something we can just program now. And the landowners in the space, and eventually what I'd like to see is the landowners and the players having a way to have an equal say, because I don't want it just to be, a landowner oligarchy or whatever, right? Because it's amazing how quickly things start to devolve in those directions.
Right, yeah.
Because people skin in the game, blah 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 blah, all that stuff, right? But the players are going to have as much of a viable, essential sort of value proposition for themselves in the game. So anyway, everyone will be able to vote and to decide certain things initially, and hopefully everything down the road about how things are managed in that sector. So we're not like, we are going to have sort of a central position. But what I'd like to do is basically exit to DAO the entire thing, have it to the point where every decision that is made in the uplift is made locally in the sectors, and then ultimately for any game-wide decisions that need to be made, it gets made in these decentralized autonomous organizations. Now, granted, it's going to start out as a startup company, right? And we don't want to do that too soon because we don't know what we're going to need to be nimble around as a company that's doing this, right? But yeah, that's sort of the game plan right now.
Gotcha. So like right now, what we're seeing, this kind of highway looking area, is this within your quadrant? Do you own this?
So I mean, this is you can actually follow this along the map. So each one of those little squares that were the railway squares on the map is about this big. So if you buy one of those, you're going to get approximately this 50 blocks wide. So it's about what you can see on your screen here, right?
Right.
And there's probably going to be in the pre-sale. There's probably going to be about 500 of those that go up for sale. And again, anytime anybody takes the railway either direction across your land, you're actually going to earn some real cryptocurrency. So it's going to be really, really good to have these things.
So you can put anything on top of the railway. Can you change the railway fundamentally in your area?
So you can. You're going to want it, but you're going to be incentivized not to screw up the connections to the other side of the rail. Because if it stops working, I would just buy up the land around it and connect it to rail so that it was still efficient, right?
Right. Yeah.
But down here, everything. The reason why we made the wide like this, it's kind of a promenade, is so that people can put whatever you want to put on there, right? Like make it interesting, give people a reason to stop if you want. Have a sign on there. It could be as simple as like, if you're not following me on Twitch, what the hell is wrong with you, right? Like,
yeah.
it could be. And so we wanted to leave it open. People are going to be able to decide kind of what they want to do with them. And these are like the smallest areas of land, in the game. And again, down in the community cluster, where we're going to be giving you the central piece for you to do whatever you want to do with it, right? But each of the NFTs that we're going to give you are going to have land pieces that are about this big, and that's going to go out to your community, and they can build on those things whatever they want. And there's going to be a giant railway like this one that heads all the way from the cathedral down to that community cluster.
Yeah, so I referenced this is for my chat. I referenced Snow Crash earlier, and in Snow Crash they have the metaverse, which is the virtual representation of the real world in bits and ones and zeros. And when you go into the metaverse, you basically show up in the virtual Times Square, and that's where the advertisements and the billboards and the things are. And this is essentially an analog of that. It's like, you think if you're a part of my community, Dividwise's community, and you're in my square, my quadrant, and everything. You see my huge castle, and I'm flexing on everyone else because I've got insane skills and I've got a community of people who can build stuff, and everyone else is jealous and they want to be a part of my community. Well, you're basically social networking too. You can put down like, hey, I'm a part of this. Like, really, this is game theory, and it's infinitely scalable. It is a very, very hot market to start with.
Yeah, I mean, that's why in Decentraland, which is fun but is not anywhere near as accessible. It's kind of, in some ways trying to do the real world or whatever. And you need like programmers to build stuff or whatever. So, we can just have, and we're seeing this already, like people, and the NFT Army is actually a really awesome guy who's created this amazing community around, NFTs and is building an app and stuff or whatever. Right. So he got in the game today and started taking a look around, his plot and stuff. And he's like, man, I just went to my 12-year-old to ask them how to build stuff. And now I'm going to build stuff with my son. And I'm like, this is amazing. That's exactly, yes, please. Right. So that level of accessibility is going to be one of the killer sort of functions of why this is going to work so well.
Is there an upper limit on how many people will be able to be involved in this project?
So I've been looking into that. I think we can have up to 100,000 people on the server at any given point in time, and then of course, that's an interesting problem. So we're gonna start being able to scale that sideways. So yeah, I think that there right now there's an upper limit on the number of people that can be in the server at any given point in time. But I think that's just a matter of like how badass can we upgrade a server?
Right. Yeah,
manageable to whatever degree we want to manage it to.
Very interesting. And so like basically, all right, so talk about how any members of my community who might be interested in getting involved in this can go about looking into it.
Right now, you can make sure that Divvy the Wise's Twitch channel gets real big. We're about 2 weeks before letting people in. I would love to let you in, and we can kind of take a tour of your land. But right now, it's not available for kind of just anyone. We've got a lot of work to do before we do that. I just wanted to show you this. Grant, have you been to St. Augustine before?
No, I do not think so.
This is a fort that's actually in St. Augustine, and Greg built a scale model of it because he's a lunatic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Greg built this.
Dude, that looks amazing.
I know, right?
It almost is there like a fight pit in the arena in there? I mean, is there
This
is
is
there the
this
potential for PvP in this? Is there
So yes, so this is a whole other wrinkle of where things get interesting. So PvP is not going to be allowed generally, but we're going to build arenas in the cities where it is available. So in that community cluster, there's a central bit that whoever has the most active community is going to control that every month, right? So if you have the most active community in the first month that we start, well, you're going to get control of that in the second month. And in that community cluster. And then the city centers are going to kind of be the same way. We're starting with the main city in the middle. There probably won't be an arena there because it's kind of like the Gratitude Cultural Center of the whole place, but Western City's going to have one. And I think there's going to be a few others. And I think that there's going to be NFTs that will allow you to power up, but those NFTs will be things from other games. Right. So if you have a CryptoMonkeys NFT, that might map to a cool sword. If you have an Our Planet NFT or an Uplift Art NFT that are held in your wallet, I think that's going to give you increased chances to win in those PvP situations. So we really want to bring other communities in. I mean, hell, if you have the OG Divvy the Wise NFT badge, that might give you a freaking helmet or some kind of ridiculous ability or just a health buff or something, right? So we want to use all the other communities' NFTs for power ups in those PvP situations.
This can sometimes be a difficult thing for me to wrap my head around is how this also scales outwards just beyond a singular project. So I mean, okay, let me get this right. Say that there's another thing that maybe it's not based in a voxel based application like this, but it exists through something else. I don't know. Nifty Wizards, I guess. I need to get back into Nifty Wizards. Really quick, let me ask you really quick. I got it up and running. I think I got my first quest, and then I have not been back on since then. Have I shot myself in the foot or anyway?
No, I think you're fine. I haven't really been messing with Nifty Wizards either. I will be amazed if some clan of Nifty Wizards fans aren't in this world at some point doing a bunch of fun stuff. It just seems like a really, really obvious fit to a lot of people. But yeah, no, I haven't really been messing with it too much recently either. I mean, they're creating constantly though.
Right.
The Nifty Wizards just will not quit. It gets more interesting and crazy all the time.
So theoretically, you can take an NFT that you've obtained through Nifty Wizards, and then through a collaboration through these two projects, those things can be interchangeable in some way or have a powered up effect in the other one.
That's right. What's really interesting is anyone can do that, right? You could say in Divvy the Wise's land, you could say, and we've got programmers that are going to be offering this as a service. If you have this particular Nifty Wizards thing in your thing, that could be the only way you're allowed in your land that particular day for an event, right? Or it could give you some kind of ability, or if you had NFTs that you were giving away, it might give you an increased chance of mining an NFT if you were hanging out on Divvy the Wise's land or whatever. Just if you held a Nifty Wizards NFT, or like one of my tunes from Uplift Art, right? Because the blockchain is open. And public, right? You're going to be able to spot. You're going to know, because we're mapping the Minecraft username to a Wax account, like a cryptocurrency account, where these NFTs would, like a wallet where they would live or whatever, right? And so we're going to be able to map, any behavior in the game to any NFT that is mapped to your account, and so any collaboration is now kind of possible between all these different communities, and we're going to be encouraging that to the nth degree, because that's sort of one of the sleeper elements of this is that our main primary goal is to connect communities in an actual space layer, like a place where you can all be together and do things together in a way that is fun and building and whatever. But it's about communities getting connected together, right? And that's where these NFT projects are nuts.
Dude, this really is. I believe I'm coming to think that this is it's gonna be the fundamental look back when we're taking a look at how did history happen in the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s. The 2020s is already setting off to be identified as the years where communities of people come together and do insane stuff. Absolutely insane.
Yes, please sign me up. Like, I want to be there for that. Like, yes, please.
Amazing, amazing. This kind of stuff cracks my head wide open, and I love the type of just endless excitement that I get from it. What I'm going to be doing is I still do not have a actual Minecraft account. It sounds
Okay.
like I'm going to have to set up a lot of stuff on the back end that I'll keep in contact with you. I'm going to go and get Minecraft. If I'm going to be a Twitch streamer, I have to have it anyways, for
Yeah,
sure.
honestly, it's a good investment. Even without the uplift, it's a good investment. With the uplift, it's essentially it's essential.
It's a necessity. Yeah, a necessity. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to be in contact with you. Will I have permission as I'm looking into this to be live streaming this to my communities and kind of
Not permission. We encourage the hell out of that. That's the thing. Like from a promo standpoint, every single screenshot video that's taken in the uplift is going to make your land more valuable, but it's also going to make the railway to that land more valuable, and by extension, the rest of the world. So you don't need permission. You're just going to get encouragement.
Okay, man. This is on my to-do list, and also I want to keep in touch with you to try and figure out how to get through this NFT business to make something interesting. And if you're in my chat and you happen to have some graphic art capabilities or something, and want to be a part of this project that I'm trying to rumble through in my head, I want to make something that's interesting that says thank you to the people who have subscribed to me, that they can have as an NFT that can give them some special abilities or powers or status within the quadrant of this is being called Uplift. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be at the uplift.world. That's
within the Uplift world.
Yeah.
So yeah, my chat's going to be hearing all about this in the weeks and months to come, and I'm looking very forward to seeing the progress that you are going to be making on this front, man.
Yeah, I mean the pre-sale launch we're targeting for the end of February, and we would like to have the community cluster of people, so like all the NFTs associated with those and all the functionality ready, so that we can get that to you guys about a week before the pre-sale, so you guys can get in and start building up your lands in advance to sort of have some more stuff for people to come and visit and see. And
awesome. I can't help but wonder, is there any way that an individual actor can break in, like hack and start to, like, how concerned is there a big
we think about that all the time. Yeah, so especially considering there's going to be like real cryptocurrency rewards, so there and we're doing a lot of sort of anti-spam type stuff to protect things. And we're pretty confident in that. I think it's not a matter of if it breaks; it's a matter of when. Luckily, we have backups, right? So, at least once a day, we're going to be backing up the whole world. And if something really truly catastrophic were to happen, we'd be able to roll it back. I kind of don't think we're going to have to, though, because like the permission systems that we're setting up, you're not going to be able to come in and kind of just do anything. So we should be good there. But yeah, on the back end on the cryptocurrency side, like we're gonna have hot wallet, cold wallet, that stuff I'm not too worried about. And like max limits that people can earn in a day if they try and like spam that's not gonna work. So we're trying to get in front of as many of those things as we possibly can. I think it's only a matter of time before somebody thinks of something we didn't, and then we'll fix it.
Right. So I kind of want to reiterate that point, and it's something that I was trying to make sure I said earlier, is that the real magic that's happening here is on the blockchain underneath this. This is just kind of a visual representation.
That's
and
a really good way to think about it. You could even think about the entire game taking place on that two-dimensional map, right? It's just the fact that two-dimensional map is sort of kicking out all the rewards and stuff, the places and the things that people are doing or whatever. But in the interim, you can go to the cathedral in-game and join us Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, either on the stream or in the game itself. And, observe a moment of silence when the sun comes up. It's become this weird, freaking profound thing that happens every Sunday. And then we all go, write some gratitudes on the wall. Like my whole family comes now, dude. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. I have a relationship with my, with my cousin and with her kids that I haven't had in 10 years. They live in Canada. Like her kid, Leon, helped me build the pillars that hold the thing up. Right. Like
that's amazing.
And we feel that every time we're there. And so people, like Sue is a good friend of mine. Her and her daughter went out and like built a ranch that you can go visit. And she said that's the most, connected she's felt to her in a long time. So like it's doing community and fellowship in a way that I just could not have guessed. And it's also just going to be a crap ton of fun.
Yeah, and and if worst case scenario happens and somehow a bad actor succeeds, you got backups and everything. They can't do anything to the underlying value that is, hey, this community has been built up and the NFTs are there, and
like
Yeah.
the wallets, it's like having a Bitcoin wallet, right? Like that NFT you own. We could even, and we're thinking about this a lot. This Minecraft layer is really, really good. We're not going to be stuck to this Minecraft layer, right? Like we could build a whole other game in virtual reality. If this goes really well and like we make a crap ton of money, we could build a whole other universe in virtual reality, and then grant people lands based on the lands they have in Minecraft.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was thinking
Right?
like the sky is literally the limit with
It,
this.
it is, and that stuff, like your cryptocurrency wallet, is more secure than your bank, and that's where your NFTs and where your cryptocurrency rewards are gonna live. Yeah, so this really is, you nailed it right off the bat. Like it's the visual layer where all of the fun stuff happens. The stuff that needs to be protected is all on the blockchain, and nobody's gonna be able to fuck with that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This stuff is just so cerebral. I love every moment that I'm talking about this. And for real, what time is the monument gratitude that you do? I probably won't be able to have everything up and running by the time that you're doing it tomorrow, but
Well, that's, yeah. Even like we do a stream too, so I'll send you the stream invite if you just want to join us in the live stream. We would love to have you. That's Sunday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's we actually do it on the Uplift. Yeah, actually, if you search the uplift.world on YouTube, the channel comes right up.
okay, fantastic. I'll be there. I'll bring my community along with you as well and express some gratitude, my man. Is there any kind of plugs that you'd like to give or any other things that you wanted to cover?
No, that dude, the whole idea that we're gonna have you and your community in here with us that's all I wanted.
Beautiful.
I'm like almost tearfully excited about that because you're perfect for this. And the fact that you're like, oh, I'm doing Twitch, like there's gonna be tons of Twitch channels coming out of here, and I would love for you to be the first and for you to be the biggest.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I mean, at this point in time, dude, I got so dejected with the recent months of what's been going
Yep.
on, and I'm like, I just have to do something to. Dude, I'm loving the idea that I can build a community. It feels like I can actually get something done by doing this, whereas the rest of Twitter and the stuff that we've come from, which I haven't
Yep.
really explained to my community now. It kind of feels a little bit defeatism right now and everything. And I prefer to put my energy into something like this. I prefer to try and build something.
That's why I'm here too. We the first NFT that got sold, again, like we did the Burning Man event and created an NFT, mapped the owner of the NFT to the owner of that in the game. So they were the only ones who had rights to it. We built a giant man out of wood and flammable shit, and then mapped that to because you can build machines in this too, right? We mapped it to a button that was on a little island, and we all hung out. We actually wrote a song for this that people can actually, I can send it to you if you want. That ended up being like really good, which we not, because I have a producer now who's just like stupid awesome at this stuff. We wrote a tune to it or whatever, and we did the gratitude event. We auctioned this NFT off, right? So they own the NFT and the land under or whatever, but that gave them the right to press this button to light the whole thing on fire. And so now you can, and I'll share the thing with you if you want. So like, we basically just had this event where everybody's out there like dancing like crazy. It's like in the middle of the night, the sun had just gone down. We all shared the sunset together in the game, right? And then when this the person who bought the NFT for $5,000 that went to charity.
Whoa.
Yeah. They sent a representative into the game, and she stood there, just kind of hung out for a little while. Like, is she going to press the button? Is she not going to press the button? And finally, she does. The whole thing lights on fire, and then everybody's just like hopping up and down in Minecraft, like dancing like a big, tribal bonfire, kind of thing with this tribal tune going on in the background. It was intense, dude. It was intense, and that was the first thing we ever really tried. Like
that's amazing.
There's going to be gazillions of those. And I'm telling you right now, like you release NFTs based on events that happen in your game, people are going to buy that shit because I would buy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then those will have worth. Again, chat, this is it's digital scarcity. There can never be another one of them. They inherently have some value there. Speaking chat, I know this is some like cerebral stuff here. Do you guys like have any questions, things that we can expand upon? Because I know like if this is the first time you're hearing about any of this, it could probably be a bit intimidating. Let me also move over to my YouTube. I just realized that I'm doing a multi stream, and if you are on my YouTube channel, the gaming content that I'm going to be coming out with is going to be primarily hosted here on Divvy the Wise on Twitch. It's going to be a lot more laid back. I'm going to be dropping F-bombs, but I'm still going to inherently be a universal basic income advocate on, you know, if the need comes up for me to kind of explain how I think the world is changing, and you know, I'm hoping to do what I can to move forward in this space and maybe make some change on my own time, because it feels like, you know, we're in this weird we're in the doldrums of policy in the United States and the world in general. So who knows? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do that too. Like, I still do the hashtag coffee show with Greg every. Well, we were doing it three mornings. We do it one morning a week now, and the rest of the time we talk about Minecraft. Because it's just so much more fun. There actually is somebody who's talking about doing a show where all they do is get in a little rowboat and follow the coastline like this the whole time. And it's zen. It's so zen that it's weird.
And like, this is the thing, like the spontaneity of that event, if he streams it and a whole bunch of people follow in, like that dude can turn around and say, you were there for the rowboat stream experience. Here's a quick little NFT, and hire a graphic artist that makes just a quirky little piece of artwork.
Just take a screenshot of the game. Take a video of the game, because that video could be an NFT.
Right. And you never know, like 10 years down the road, who you may be following, who's turned into a global phenomenon, who has kicked off a huge charity where the NFTs have helped businesses, small communities of people, and it turns into something that's much more than just video games. I see someone over on my YouTube channel, which again is not on my Twitch, so they're less of the people who would be involved with gaming and stuff like that. And I can tell that it's the opposite thing. They're like, they don't see how the virtual stuff can be reflected in the real, and I can totally understand that just from a glance notice here. But you know, property and real estate is something that has been sold over the decades. I can think of, you know, World of Warcraft avatars. People sell those for thousands of dollars,
and those are going to be NFTs now. Like that, you'll never have an in-game property that isn't a blockchain NFT that can be bought and sold on an open market. Like that, like the games that aren't doing that yet are losing. And this is the thing, like for us, because we think about this as well. Like we want the IRL extension of this to be important. And of course, like, you know, having the community layer, you know, is already connecting me with family and everybody else with family. So it gives that sense that you're not just like together on a YouTube or on a stream or whatever. You're doing things in a place, which has been really intense. But this year, you know, M Blue from Uplift Art and I have dedicated ourselves to creating art that's going to build a school in Haiti.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and we're gonna do it. Like we've already raised about $30,000 for it just in the last, like, since the beginning of the year. And we have to get up to 400,000 to build the school, but it's going to happen, right? So 10% of all of the proceeds that are coming, you know, from land sales in the Uplift in this world are going right to that charity. 25% of all of the 50%, sorry, of all the stuff we get in for the art drops that we do with Uplift Art is going to that charity. So you just be intentional about it, and you know, you can create the kind of things that you want to create.
So I like, it kind of reminds me just now in the story, one of these guys on Wall Street Bet bought thousands of dollars worth of Nintendo Switches from the profit that he made out of short squeezing these hedge funds.
Yeah, dude.
He drives over to
so good.
Say again.
Just the whole idea, like the fact that you can short anyway is so dumb. Like people have a lot of really wrong impressions about how this all went down, but that short squeeze is epic and good, and it should have happened.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's so much nuance into the discussion, but what is so cool is that he drives over to a children's hospital and he donates them tens and dozens of Nintendo Switches. And then they interview him on the news. He was like, listen, if you turned around and you asked those hedge funds what they would do to this hospital, they would short the hospital. They would. Yeah. This is about flipping the dialogue and saying, like, all right, we are now going to be the owners of how this works, you know. Instead of Twitch taking all of our data, or they're really the intermediary. Oh no, I'm gonna get banned from Twitch now because I'm starting to badmouth the platform. But for real, the real work and labor that's going on here, beyond what they have done and the how they promote the channels and everything, it's happening between you and me. You all in the chat are the only reason why the community grows, and when the community grows, beautiful and amazing things can happen. And oh my gosh, people can make a whole ton of money and change the world.
Yeah, we as one of our guiding principles, obviously it starts with gratitude. We also have the win-win-win economy as an idea. In any transaction, there should be at least 3 winners. Right. So if you and I are doing a transaction, the easiest way to get another winner is to add a charity.
Absolutely. 100%.
But there's a gazillion different ways to do that. So we want to make sure that like literally everyone is benefiting at all times. Right. And I'll tell you right now, like I think like me personally, as like the guy who founded this project, you know, and I brought on a big team, like we got a lot of people involved now. Like I'm going to make some money from this, but so is everybody else. Like literally anybody who does anything. We have we did a different drop called the Spaceman drop, where a bunch of people were invited to come in, like people that were just like friends of ours, friends of #coffee the show, got to build a bunch of things for Blue, who's dropping this music video. And they, you know, as a team, they brought in about $1,500 just from him selling NFTs, and 50% of his stuff was going to charity. Right. So they made 25% of that drop and all walked away with $200 for a couple days worth of work building in Minecraft.
It's breaking the zero-sum view of how the world works. It's amazing.
What the hell is this? Like, this is why I just fly around sometimes randomly. Like, what? What is happening with this?
Do you have any visual mods in the game? Someone in my YouTube channel, hey Scott, welcome to this stream. I hope you're having a great day. Please send my love to the family as well. He's saying it's looking very different from regular Minecraft water.
Yeah, so especially the water looks amazing. Hey, so I'm using Optifine and shaders, which anyone can kind of add to their Minecraft experience. Even the sun is like usually blocky and stuff, and I added the shaders because I mean, like doing the sunrise event, you know, we wanted to make it look as kind of magical as humanly possible.
Right, so, right.
Yeah, I highly recommend getting. You can download Optifine. It's like a version of Minecraft that just like gets modded on, and then you can try out different shaders. But yeah.
So like, will you allow people to kind of mod their game in certain improved
We can't stop them from doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, like what you want to do with the game and the shaders, that you can do with that, whatever you want to do. The server itself, like all the plugins and all the servers and things like that stuff, we're going to have to control completely.
Right.
So, you know, different kinds of mods, you know, you're not going to be able to add. However, like if you and your community have an amazing idea for a game and there's a way that we can set up a mod just in your region for specific kind of stuff, you know, we'll look at that on a case-by-case basis, just as long as it's not going to screw up the server for everybody else.
Right. So like, say you want to like run a Hunger Games style event in your quadrant.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Dude,
crazy.
man, the possibilities here are endless. I'm so happy that you showed me this. I'm so happy you thought of me when I sent you that message, because this is directly down my alley.
Yeah, it's so perfect, especially like, you know, getting into Twitch and, you know, kind of still doing the advocacy is like I feel that really intently, because I couldn't hang out with the whole politics thing anymore either, just because I really do want to build something that's worth fucking something, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the election's over, great, you know, we accomplished some stuff, cool, whatever. But with this, you know, we're gonna be able to I mean, we're gonna build an economy inside this game, right? People are gonna make a living just creating content and doing cool stuff, you know, in the platform that we're going to set up, because it's going to be connected to NFTs, it's going to be connected to cryptocurrency, and you're just going to be able to make it work.
Dude, beautiful. Yeah, one of my New Year's streams, some awesome person came in, donated $50. I was like, this was a charity stream, and in that moment, I felt like I was able to do more in that instance to kind of do some real world thing than I had been doing for the entire year and a half of my channel up to that point. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it feels just so much better. Okay, man, awesome, dude. We're running up here on an hour, man. Again, you know me, I've got endless amounts of times. If there's anything that you wanted to show or anything like that, but if I'm starting to take up your day, you let me know.
No, yeah, I do need to run, but let's just do this again soon. And again, like I'm going to lock down one of those community plots for you, right? And so you'll have that big one that's going to be for whatever you want to do with it, and the 55 little ones that we're encouraging you to kind of give away to the top people in your community, right? And they'll own those. Like they'll be able to come in, improve them, and flip them if they want to. I don't think people will in those community clusters, because there's going to be just so much reason to not lose your spot next to the Divvy the Wise's land, you know. But yeah, I mean that's really it. You know, we're still sort of in the early days. We should have the first few people allowed into the game as groups in about 3 weeks. Get your stuff ready, and I'll show you your plot, and we could start brainstorming what we want to build there, and even introducing people to who might want to build. And again, if you want to bring like 1 or 2 builders in to like start building stuff in advance, we could talk about that too. We just kind of can't let everybody in just yet.
I totally understand. At the very least, I know that M is going to be helping me get the ins and outs of Minecraft because I have not played too much of it. I know you think I talk about gaming all the time, and somehow Minecraft has totally slipped by me. But I'll be ready and prepared for whenever I can get in on this, and I look forward to learning more and catching up with you on another stream sometime.
Awesome, man. Sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you, Corey. Take it easy.